All right, what's going on? One thing I love about painting with the palette knife is that you don't have to be, I guess, a skilled detail painter when painting with a palette knife. I know a lot of times when I teach the palette knife course or live painting classes, a lot of people have a hard time painting with a palette knife because they don't know how to loosen up. That's one of the things I try to teach when I teach my painting classes, especially my live painting class here in town, is that one of the things I try to get everybody to do is kind of loosen up. One thing, you cannot paint a fine detail, let's say portrait painting with a palette knife. You just can't, because you're painting with the blade, so it's impossible. However, the cool thing is that if you're not really well in painting detail types paintings, the palette knife affords you to create some amazing paintings, even though you're not using a brush and even though you're not painting a detailed painting. So one thing again one thing I like about the palette knife is that if you're first starting out, you're first learning how to paint, the palette knife is a great way to just kind of create some amazing paintings using a lot of textures, a lot of colors, and a lot of techniques, and just creating some amazing paintings all with the blade. So again, one of the beautiful things that I love about painting with the palette knife, you don't have to be a great skill master painter, and you can create some amazing paintings just using small shapes and colors and textures all with the palette knife. So that's one of the things that I love about the palette knife. Another thing I like about the palette knife is that I got to go more and more, not just detail, but also textures. I love the textures that you can create with a palette knife. I always tell everybody that it's like painting icing on a cake, you know? Just like you would use a knife to spread icing on a cake, you get those nice thick textures from the icing. You do the same thing with the palette knife. Palette knife allows you to create some nice textures using the paint. And a lot of times I just squeeze the paint right out of the tube to make my textures. Some people use mediums to add to make it thicker. I have done it in the past, but if you buy the nice correct paint, say Liquitex Heavy Body or Golden, I feel like you don't need as much medium. But if you want it really, really thick and kind of gooey, so to speak, you can buy some medium to add to it to make it even nice and thick. That's if you want those big, strong, thick, heavy textures, which is fine, which is totally fine. But if you're just gonna start off, and especially if you're limited in your budget, I would definitely say use Liquitex and Golden. Those are some great paints to use. I wouldn't buy paint from Walmart. I wouldn't buy that thin liquidy paint that you see sometimes. You're just not going to make good textures. Now the surface that I use to paint my palette knives, my palette knife paintings it can be from wood. Of course, I'm a gesso the wood. I've painted on cardboard before with a palette knife. I also painted on canvas, of course, canvas. So any hard surface that will hold the paint and not bulk up. I've also used mixed media paint. I use a lot of those, like these smaller pieces right here, I've done on mixed media paint, which is very thick. So it holds the paint without bulking up. So again, the palette knife is a great way to create some cool textures. There's so many different techniques you can use, scratching technique and so forth. So definitely check it out, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Talk to you later. All right, peace.